My name is Laban Bore and I'm 29 years old. What I do, I create value for businesses, and basically I'm a data and operation analyst. And what we do, we collect information on African companies. What do we do with this information? This information will help these companies to develop business leads, and we link up them to private investors with the aim of closing some deals. Did I wanted to be a data scientist, data analyst? No. My background is in actuarial science, and I was passionate about mathematics, crunching numbers, looking at the trends, statistics, economics. So along the way, things happened, and I started falling in love with data. And that's the moment I decided to write a lot of codes, algorithms, which is able to read the data and provide some insights. So initially, it wasn't in my pipeline to be a data analyst at all. I would like to build a multi-sector business. When I talk of multi-sector, I want a business, a successful business in the oil and gas sector, the financial sector, specifically insurance. The main aim is just to solve these kinds of challenges in this sector. For example, the insurance penetration in Kenya is 3%, which is lower. I always ask myself, why are Kenyans not buying insurance, and it will help them. So I want to run a multi-business sector in Kenyan market. The first time when I came to Nairobi, I didn't know anyone. When I joined campus, that was in 2011. That was my first time. No one was there to handshake me and to move me around Nairobi. So I was totally new to this place. So I remember getting lost for 3 hours, just walking around and round and round looking for this hotel, Hilton Hotel. That was my landmark. I knew when I just see the Hilton Hotel, now I know where. So it was out of that privacy. Now I still remember, like, if you're lost in Nairobi, there are higher chances that someone can steal from you. Those were the stories. You can be robbed. And I was new. But I always said, who can do it? I need to put a courage. So I remember when I was just walking around, that was now River Road. I came and realized it was River Road. So just to put in some courage, I could just wear different, like, you see there, you fold your hands this and you start walking like, now you're the person. So I used to do those things. So I could fold my hands this way and just walk bravely, and then find my way out. I used to carry Mace. We call it, I used to use this small, we call it the debes. You just put in a sack of gunia, then carry. So I used to live with interesting roommates. So after the first half of the quarter, we could call home and ask them to send us some maize. And they could send a sack of 90 kilogram maize. So there was this time when we went to Nyamakima to collect. So we were 5 because it was 90 kilogram of maize was a lot. So we went there, we bought some sacks so that we can distribute for everyone to carry. So it was ready, then we started putting it at our park, everyone with a good ear. So when we were coming through the tunnel, that is between main campus and Giromo, there's a tunnel. So when we were fearing off that road, that's when we met some ladies who asked the lady, say, oh my God. I was like, what's happening? It's normal. So as we have these conias of my Hindi here. Those are some of the incidents I remember. And we just march majestically with our Mace, right till Jiromo. There's no hunger. During my campus time, I used to be this introvert. I couldn't interact with anyone. But at the back of my mind, something was telling me that I can do some of the things, but I wasn't convinced that I can do. That's the moment when I started to look for mentors to guide me through this process. That's professional development and career development. But along the way, I knew that I need to define what I call my life KPIs. See, these are like, for me, they're like departments of my life, which are things to do with financials, health, my education, and my career. So after defining them, I realized that I need to zero in and focus on these 4 things. So one of the core things, every time when I go to work at the evening, I feel very tired, and then there's a lot of mind chatter. So I said, let me substitute this kind of an habit, maybe with running, maybe it can work. So anytime when I run between that 45 to 1 hour, I always count backwards. 100, 99, 98, 97, just to reverse the mind chatter. To do, you know, the way our brains work, on default 1 to 3, it's used to that one. But when you reverse it, it struggles a bit. So it clears out all those kinds of mind chatters. So it worked for me that time when I started, and I looked fresh during the day. Within the first 3 hours, I always do most of the works which I could have done in 3 weeks or even a week. And just to demonstrate that one, when I got a partial scholarship with Google, that's when I realized that, okay, how am I going to do software development? It's something new for me. I needed to plan time. I need to release some of these things which are always in my mind. And running from 5 to 6 really helped me. The latest person was Eric Mureithi. So after having a small discussion with him when he was talking in one of the events, I realized that he's a person who is passionate. He likes communicating, engaging with people. So I approached him. I wanted him to be my mentor, to guide me through my communication skills. Maybe to have a one-on-one session how to improve my communication and even my accent. That's Eric. And then the second person is not here in Kenya actually. He's in US. He's a data scientist actually. So it was out of the same way, like a meetup. After discussing with him how we can create value for businesses in Kenya using data, we struck a deal with him, and he was a visionary person in relation to data and how to help businesses do well in Kenya. Yeah, so those are the 2 people. Yeah. I go for marathon. Then from time to time, after 3 weeks, I always go Arboretum or Karura Forest, just to go and read the trees, just looking at the names, and then sitting down and now looking at myself. This is me. Now writing down everything, deconstructing everything. Then a few minutes of just exercising, coming back and thinking, what is all this life about? Yeah, so what I like to do for fun is I like running, coding, just writing some code, trying to understand data, and engaging with people just to find out what could be their challenges and how can I solve those challenges. So I read a lot, I do all those things. At exactly 5 a.m., that's the time when I start running. I run for 45 minutes to 1 hour in the morning. So that's what I do naturally. I don't struggle to run. Not all Kalenjins can run. I decided that I'm going to run at 5 a.m. as one of my goals actually, and to keep myself fit. So it wasn't easy the first time when I set up this goal and I say every 5 a.m. I'll be running. No, it wasn't easy, but it was out of initiative and my willingness to push on and do it. Then after doing for 3 weeks, that's like 21 days, it became the norm. I couldn't let it go. So that one started like that. So it has nothing to do with my genes as a Kalenjin now.